In this lesson, we're going to be learning how to use the difference quotient. This really should be a review. What I'm going to concentrate mostly on is the algebra, making sure that you distribute and follow your order of operations. You should have seen the function notation in previous math classes. In fact, you probably should have worked with this particular formula. They may not have called it the difference quotient, but here it is. And so notice we're going to find f of x plus h. We're going to subtract f of x, which is going to be the given function, and divide by just h. Now out here, they're just saying h cannot be 0 because you don't want to divide by 0. So let's just start with a linear function. How do you find f of x plus h? Keep in mind, you want to replace the x's with x plus h. So let's just start. F of x plus h minus f of x divided by h. In this case is going to be negative 5 times x plus h plus 1. Then here comes the biggest part, minus, put your parenthesis, f of x. That minus sign is what really gets calculus students, because you will be doing this a lot in calculus. Just make sure you distribute that minus sign, divided by h. After here, just really basic algebra. Distributing and collecting like terms. So let's see, and we should have lots of things that add to 0. So those cancel, and we have negative 5h over h, and then of course we could reduce to negative 5. Now here I want to point out, because that's a linear function, how does negative 5 relate to that line? Well, if we remember, y equals mx plus b, so if we have y equals negative 5x plus 1, negative 5 is the slope. And this is indeed how to find the slope of different functions, which you will get a lot of in calculus. But let's look at a quadratic function. Now we know that a parabola, which is a quadratic function, doesn't have a definite slope. And so we can't just say the slope is 2 or 3, but we could get an expression of the difference quotient. Now again, every place there is an x, we're going to replace that with x plus h. So we have 2 times x plus h quantity squared minus 3 times x plus h plus 5. Now here comes that important part, minus, put that parenthesis, and then just copy down the function as is. So here we have to follow the order of operations. We have to multiply that out first, which means we have to FOIL it out and then distribute that 2. I'm going to go ahead and distribute the 3, negative 3 actually, and then distribute that minus sign. Next step is to distribute that 2. And here is where some terms should add to 0. That's 0, 0, 0, and let's see what I've got left. Now notice all these terms have an h, so we could divide out an h in each term. So we'd have 4x plus 2h minus 3. Remember, we just need to reduce out 1h in each term. And that would be our difference quotient. In calculus, you're going to go one extra step talking about the limit, but I'll save that for the next class.